Welcome to the Michele, Laine podcast, a podcast dedicated to ambitious, passionate, heart-centered humans just like you who are committed to their mission of making the world a better place. This is the space where you can elevate your energy, leadership, and success, embracing where you are now and where you dream of being, knowing that every step in between is welcomed along the way. A place to ignite your limitless potential and expand your personal and professional growth. Join us on a journey of transformation and self-discovery as we explore conversations around energy alchemy, numerology, spirituality and business, and ways to reconnect with your innate wisdom. Transform your inner and outer worlds as you come home to your purpose, presence, and prosperity. Let's dive into this week's episode. Welcome back. This week, you guys, I'm home. I have been on the most amazing travel schedule. Actually this entire year, but this was my biggest push. This was 2 weeks in Kenya, followed by a few days home, and then off to Florida for a 5-day business masterminding retreat with my beautiful Meant for Magic ladies. We're on this year journey together, growing, evolving, expanding our leadership, our mindset, our money, and our business, and it has been amazing. Looking back on this journey, like the year isn't even over yet, and I am definitely not the same person that I was when I started, and I really look at now how I'm able to take bigger leaps, say yes to things that used to scare me enough to not take action or sabotage my efforts. Have you guys been there before? But yet also realizing I didn't blow up, fall down, or die from it. And that when the fear has moved out of the body and I'm no longer just surviving from the mind standpoint or perception, that all the things that I teach and practice and do really are the way through it all. But also to be held in containers where people are doing the things you want to be doing and getting in the room around visionaries who are running successful businesses. It empowers you in a whole new way. Like it helps you to realize that you have a seat at each of those tables, that you belong, that all the ways that your mind will tell you that it's not for you aren't the truth. And so today I wanted to talk about how the human brain learns. And so this isn't going to be your boring brain study, but hopefully you'll find it exciting and enthralling and ways that you can understand your mind better and welcome it in as a part of your body. It's not this separate entity. It's not this being that's here to destroy you, right? But it does certain things. It has a job. Its job is to keep us safe. Its job is to analyze, to collect information, to strategize. It's all about learning. It's like a supercomputer that loves to delete and sort and generalize, but it also distorts. So the head talk that we hear, the memories and how we perceive them, the decisions that we make or don't make, they become our perceptions. They become our programs. The things we've been told are true. The things we've been exampled in our life, the way that our parents, our grandparents, our teachers thought, the people that we looked up to. And it doesn't always make these things truth. It makes it a truth. And my learning, studying, certifying has all been in the ways that we can talk to ourselves, the ways that we tend to talk to ourselves as humans, our behaviors, our habits, our head talk, our programming, and the values, the beliefs, the drivers, and the identities that are underneath the surface that we don't always realize are a part of what is happening for us. Because we don't always realize those are the things that are driving the habits, the behaviors, the thoughts, the head talk, and the belief systems that we've adopted over time. They're the subconscious. They're the things that live in the body. That's where the body holds the truth. It holds the memory. It holds the response. It holds the way that we made meaning around the event. Our minds are meaning-making machines. But once again, no, the meanings it makes are a perception, one way. There are multiplicity of ways that we can perceive things. There are distortions. There are truths. There are new ways we can visualize our life to be, and the mind knows how to get on board. But it's not without understanding what it is that sets us off in a trigger, what it is that creates the reaction that we oftentimes are very aware we don't want more of, but we also don't or aren't aware of what it is that we can do to shift that trigger. So this is why I am so passionate about helping others with their emotional mastery. This is self-mastery. This is understanding the mind and the body, how it works, and how we can make way for spirit to flow through us, trusting in our intuition, birthing more of our intuitive skills, and getting out of the mind so we can drop into the heart. We have like 3 brain systems in the body. We've got the brain, we've got the heart, and we've got the gut. And if you've been following in the last decade or so the science that starts to show up around the actual cells and memory that are stored in the heart, the ability for us to alchemize emotion, for us to shift our frequency and create more of what we're really wanting in this world by being in alignment, not just with what the head thinks, not just with what the heart wants, not with just what the gut's telling us, but all of them as intricate neural networks of communication within ourselves that help us to identify when things don't feel good and when things do. Because I promise you, when things are going well and they feel really good, we are not worried about what we're doing to make that happen. We're continuing. It's when things don't feel good and we feel off center and we're maybe not in integrity with what we said that we wanted, or we're compromising ourselves or judging or comparing, that's when we start getting locked up in a loop of internal drama, right? Or playing in someone's external drama, playing roles, adopting roles of the victim, the rescuer, or the bully. All unintentional, of course. Nobody wakes up and says, I think I'll be the victim, the rescuer, or the bully today. But they're learned behaviors. They're learned and exampled. They're things that we've absorbed like a sponge until we were about 7 or 8 when our filtering system in our mind actually ignited. And then we've learned to perceive the world through the things that we think about most, the ways that people have spoken to us most. We also can begin to repeat patterns from generations past, from beliefs that our parents had, and we see them so much when it comes to mind, body, and love relationships. And so when we start these personal development journeys or these spiritual expansion journeys, we start to realize that who we are, who we thought we were, and the identities from which we created value for ourselves from aren't the only way. It isn't what we can achieve in the world. It isn't what how much money we make or don't make. That doesn't determine our value. We're valuable because we're here. We're valuable because we are. Our unique, beautiful, energetic, soulful blueprint is unique to each of us. And what I've learned over these last 7 years, this decade, is how do we become the fullest expression of who we are, staying true to what we feel inside, to the purpose we feel pulled by, and the identification of knowing who we are, what we want, and why we want it. When the world teaches us not to feel, to follow the Joneses, to keep up with the Joneses, that you're not enough unless you buy this, do that, purchase this, be like this, look like that, we are so convoluted in distortion that when we begin these journeys, we begin to unwind the distortion and really understand, sometimes for the first time, that we're not our roles, we're not what we do, and we're not who we thought we were. We're this beautiful soul that is expressed through this body, that the body isn't an enemy of who we are, that the mind is not the problem, that we get to be all of it together as a beautiful expression, and that the way that I express won't be the way that you express. There may be commonalities, but it doesn't have to be exact. And so we actually are invited into a journey of our own self-authority, our own inner power, and our innate ability to alchemize the emotions that we do feel, And when you think about it, in a world where we're taught to not feel emotion, we don't have time for that, stay busy, don't express, don't be vulnerable. We have all these distortions around the one thing that is the key code to our freedom, to our resilience, to our bliss, to our joy, to our thriving, beautiful, easeful, peaceful resonance in life, where we don't have to stay wound up in fight or flight in the survival mode of keeping up, making the next paycheck. I don't think we were really born to just get up, go to work, and do it again the next day. But that's not what the world teaches. And so oftentimes we don't even realize that we're on autopilot. We don't realize we are a product of our own environment until something happens, some experience happens where we wake up and we say, this is like an illusion, a game. And I'm a pod as a player in this game, and I can actually change my reality by how I choose to think and feel and react to life happening for me, not to me. And when I'm no longer a victim of life happening to me, there's nothing people can say or do or anything in life that can unfold that I can't unwind, that I can't no longer see as an opportunity for learning or an opportunity for myself to react differently with more love, more compassion, more grace, not only for others, but for myself. And I don't know about you guys, but that is not what I was operating off of for at least the first 40 years of my life. I ensured that I had the parents that drove me to seek more, right? Do better with so much love, but to explore health in a new way, to explore my passions in a new way. They were the exact right people to help initiate that for me, an example for me that I wanted something different. Which is as it should be, right? I hope so. And then my kids coming into my experience are the exact beautiful mirrors for what I could become more of and how I can help them strive and thrive in the world, doing it differently, doing it their way. And so when we think about all of this, I think of it from a numerological perspective when we look at our birth charts, that we're all here to connect with those that we're meant to connect with, and that every person has a reason, a season, or a lifetime for our expression here. But that we're taught to hold on so tight, to not let go, to resist change, to think that we have to be in control, which is the biggest distortions that we can experience. To open ourselves up to the realization that when we can let go of how we've been attached to what we think had to happen, should have happened, needed to happen, has to happen, we step into a new world of what gets to be, how we get to be, how we choose to be, how each breadcrumb is a choice to a higher perception and higher expression of love, to a challenge that's here to help us rise into the next version of who we want to become. So we don't have to be at the whim of life or of the chaos. Life is going to life, chaos is going to chaos, but the foundation that we're able to create for ourselves is the stability, is the safety that we're oftentimes seeking out externally, all around us. When in truth, that's the journey of mastery. Mastery is not perfection. Mastery is not better than someone else. It's a lifetime practice of being better 1% more than the day before, from a place of loving yourself, believing in yourself, trusting in your ability to create anything you desire, to step into your highest potentiality and possibility, and to accept yourself every ounce and iota along the way. Every mess in your messaging, every mistake that brought you more insight and learning, every imperfect action that led to more peace, every part of you gets to be welcomed. It's the shadow and the light, the yin and the yang. It's the middle spot, not the black or the white, not the this or the that. It's the and that joins everything and creates more harmony. I just was on the phone with my mentors this morning and then had a beautiful hour and a half session of card pulls in my group, the Intuitive Leaders Rise. Please come over there on Facebook if you're not already there. But we were really landing into the beautiful system of Astro-Egyptian numerology, the playing cards. You see them as playing cards, but they're really key codes to how we can have the most thriving life. And as we dive into the wisdom that's within it, it's not outside of us. It's a reminder of the empowering or disempowering energy that we find ourselves in the moment, and what choice point we're in so we can choose a more empowering action going forward. More relief in the pattern that's rising because it's here to move through us. That's why it's here to be seen. It's not here to prevent us. It's here to be welcomed and shifted into new energy. And as I always say, energy never dies. It moves into something more. We spend a lifetime focusing on what we don't want, but we rarely spend time focusing on what we do want, on other possibilities. So that in of itself can be eye-opening and heart-expanding. And so as I sit here in this beautiful energy, it's still channeling in from that beautiful hour and a half of readings. I realize that the purpose of being here really is to be more of who we are, to discern the difference between someone else's expectation and our own path, right? To take nuggets from each and every experience and person in life and mold it into our own expression. And for those of you who are coaches, healers, teachers, utilizing all of those skill sets we've learned along the way and all of our life experiences, modalities, certifications, and mixing it into our own special sauce, because there are people out there coded for our voice. They're not hearing the words we're saying, they're feeling the cell's resonance as it's intended to be through universal law. And they're out there waiting for us to speak our truth and to step out from the shadows and to connect with the world, contribute in a way that makes the world a better place. You wouldn't be here if that isn't who you are. So I'm hoping that this conversation brings just a bit more depth and insight into your listening, your day, your next creation that you're wanting to birth into the world. And if you're interested in your own reading, I have a beautiful intuitive body wisdom session right now available through October 21st for $75. I invite you to reach out. Let's connect. Let's see what's brewing for you to rise through, rise above, and what's in your chart that helps point the way in a very direct, aligned, beautiful, loving way. And if you haven't yet joined the community, I invite you to connect with me over on Facebook in the Intuitive Leaders Rising community. I'll put the links in the show notes below. And really, truly, I would love to hear from you. If you're listening in weekly and we haven't yet met, please send me a note. Say hello on socials or email me at michele@michellelaine.com, michele@michellelaine.com. And let me know how this particular episode resonated with you. What questions does it bring up? What synchronicities does it align with you? And was it helpful? All right, you guys, until next week, I'll see you again real soon. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you found this episode valuable, I'd love for you to share it out with your family and friends so we can create a ripple effect of growth and transformation in the universe. If you're someone who's looking for more support and are feeling that nudge to connect, I encourage you to reach out. Go to www.michellelaine.com and schedule your intuitive reading with me. And these readings will really be uncover the patterns within your body that are holding you back from that next level of wealth, well-being, health, and love relationships that you're truly desiring. And make sure you join me in the Empowered Evolution group on Facebook. Let's continue the conversation there. I want to hear what you loved about this episode. I want to meet you, and I want to hear what's important for you to hear more of. Again, thank you so much for spending your time with me today, and I'll see you on the very next episode.